Chinese or Hindi or Tongan or anything else, so you then have to translate it back into English before you can then talk to me about it. So all that takes time. So if I start to talk too fast, you don't have time to do that process. Here, you have sender, encode, send, decode, receiver. So, in any forms of communication, there are other diagrams. This is the simplest. If you understand the simple thing, you make it more complicated. If you're complicated, you can't go back number of lines that it has. The more dots you have, the more clearer a picture you get. So, I am the sender and I want to talk to you lot. I encode it by taking out all the long words and words that I think that you probably don't understand. That's an encoding process. I then talk to you, I send it. You then decode it by translating it into your own language so that you can then think about it. All these... Okay. Anybody here got Sky? So, okay. There's either non-communication, which is something's broken down here, or you get miscommunication, which is the idea you were trying to get from here to here has gone wrong somewhere along the line. Fribourg. Now, in Fribourg, they speak, because it's in Switzerland, they either speak French or they speak what they call Schweizerdeutsch, which is a form of German. And so she went with English, a tiny little bit of French, and no German. And within, I said to her, when did you get fluent in it? And she said, it took me about 2 years. I was much quicker with this than I was with this. And I said to her, when did you become fluent? And her answer to me was, I became fluent when I didn't have to translate. And what she means by that is somebody could talk to her in French. She could think in French and talk straight back in French. Somebody could talk to her in German, she could think in German, and then she could talk straight back in German. And that's when you become fluent, is when you actually go through the thought process in that language. But it really only happens when you tend to live in a place for long enough. So actually, what happened to her was, she very rarely used her own language, and therefore she was talking far more in this and this. And the other interesting thing about it was, I said, why did you learn so quickly? And she said, because I was treating little children. And I said, well, what does that mean? She said, well, what we do as adults is, when somebody's talking to us and they don't quite get it right, we translate into what they're trying to say and then continue the conversation. So if you sort of miss a few words out or you get the wrong tense, like you always... Like one of your examples is, there's no logic to it. Plural of cow is cows. Why isn't the plural of sheep sheeps? It's not, it's sheep. There's no logic to it whatsoever. The plural of staff is staff. All you people always say staffs. But what she was saying to us, because these were little kids that are up to 5 years old, whenever she said something wrong, they started laughing. And she'd go, why are you laughing at me? And they would go, you just said this. And she'd go, well, doesn't that mean so-and-so? And they went, no, what that means is this. What you wanted to say was that. And therefore, she got her French and German up to standard very, very quickly, because people, as soon as she said something wrong, the kids would tell her what was right. Whereas what we as adults do is, we don't like being rude. We just translate it into what we're trying to do.